Hey everyone, I'm Joe. Today it's time for me to do my reading wrap up for December 2019. But before I talk about any books, I would like to say, because it's in the time of year, I hope everybody had a nice Christmas and that you celebrate the new year in whatever fashion is most appropriate to you, whether that is going out to fireworks or, if like me, you're hoping the fireworks are not too noisy and you can just read in peace without too many distractions. Anyway. Now on to the books. The first book is the third book in the RY trilogy, Sideshow by Sheri S. Tepper. I have buddy read all books by Tepper so far. I think I've read 6 of them now, with Rachel, who is known as Canardi on BookTube. And it's become our thing as such to buddy read anything, everything by Tepper together. And I'm really glad I did. I don't want to say too much about this book, because frankly there's not much point, because Rachel did a separate review of this a few weeks ago, which I will link in the description box below. Rachel's review is obviously extremely good. She covers every major point, and there frankly isn't much I can add to what Rachel said, because Rachel said it extremely eloquently and really well. Suffice to say, this is a interesting sort of like, say fantasy, but it's sort of science fiction as well. I wouldn't really know which to class it as. It's kind of both in some ways. The plot is very strange. It follows on from the first and second books. The second book being Raising the Stones, which is both my favourite book by Tepper and indeed is Rachel's favourite book by Tepper. This is both of our least favourite book by Tepper, however, because this went to places that neither of us particularly expected, and frankly neither of us were particularly interested in. The characters were odd, to say the least. The plotline, whilst it was interesting enough, I suppose, it didn't have a fulfilling ending to it. It felt a bit quiet and a bit short at the end, and it didn't cover aspects that we would have hoped to see. Frankly though, it would have been very hard to follow up on the second book, Raising Stones, because we both thought that was extremely well written with some amazing points to it. So this would have had to do something astonishing, frankly, to live up to that second book, which, you know, I mean, we've read it, we know about it. I'd prefer to sort of forget that this is a sequel to the Raising Stones. Raising Stones was the high point of Tepper for both of us. This wasn't, so it's like Raising Stones and then just sort of quietly forget that we read this. If you want to be a completionist, which is what me and Rachel have been with this, then, you know, yes, I would read it, but otherwise, not much point really. It's not that exciting as a book. The next and last books I'm going to talk about are the 2 books by Raymond E. Feist, and those are Prince of the Blood and The King's Buccaneer. These are books 1 and 2 in the Conder's Son duology. I'm going to be doing a separate review of these 2 books in the near future, in about 2 weeks time probably, whenever I get around to actually filming the things. And so I don't want to say too much now, because I'll just be repeating myself in a review, but suffice to say, I really did enjoy these. These are set in Feist's Rift War Cycle universe, of which there are 30 in total, different trilogies, duologies, sets of 4 and set of 5 I believe. And these are an interesting one. These follow the sons of one of the main characters from the original Rift War trilogy, which starts off this whole universe. The first book, Prince of Blood, is about the twin sons of that character, and the second book, King's Buccaneer, is about the younger son going off on adventures essentially. They are unrelated to each other directly, but they do have some notable links, and you will get more of them if you read them, book 1 and book 2. And whilst they are probably not absolutely essential to the overall world of the Rift War Cycle, I would greatly recommend them for that though, because they add a lot to the world, history and backstory, which I think in the future will be a quite significant factor, because this has some old characters in it, some new characters. It changes things up a little bit. It creates new politics. This is a fantasy world, sort of like a medieval Europe type world with battles and things going on and magic, although not of a normal, predictable kind. And I really enjoyed both of these books. They were well written, intelligent, the pacing was good, the characters was fun. Yes, they are a little bit stereotypical at times, but these were late 80s fantasy novels, so that's kind of to be expected, and frankly I don't mind because of that reason. And I would recommend these, especially if you've read the other books previous to these two by Feist. These will mean a lot more to you, and indeed I will be reading through every single book by Feist over the coming months. And with that said, that is actually it for December. I mean, I said it was a really short month, and this video should indeed, hopefully, be a quick one. If you've read any of these or would like to, then please leave a comment. If you've had any interesting books for Christmas or anything, then, again, please leave a comment or suggestions on books you think I might like based on these. Then leave a comment and we can talk. I'm always interested in getting into new books by new authors and new genres and such, and subgenres. With that said, that is it for this video. Oh, and all my social media links, as well as links to Rachel's channel and Rachel's review of Sideshow, can be found in the description box below. With that said, that is it for this video. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day.